Non-essential travel across the U.S.-Canada border has been restricted for more than 15 months. Canadian officials have extended the restrictions until this coming Monday, but uncertainty looms. The reopening date keeps getting delayed. Discussions between the two countries have hit a snag as well. Earlier this week, President Biden and Canadian Prime Minister Trudeau said they were unable to strike a deal on reopening the United States northern border. Congressman Brian Higgins joins me now. He's a Democrat who represents New York's 26th congressional district across the Niagara River from Ontario. Congressman, welcome. Thanks very much for being with us. What would you like to see here? What is your proposal for reopening the border, and what kind of support do you have?
Well, my proposal for reopening the border is to follow the science, to follow the facts, to follow the data, all of which both U.S. and Canadian citizens were told to do throughout this pandemic. And now we have a very powerful medicine against this disease, a vaccine that provides immunity from getting COVID or for getting COVID. So therefore, those who have been fully vaccinated should be able to cross the border to reunite with loved ones, to visit property that they have been kept from for 15 months, to transact business. So we're looking for a safe and successful opening the border for to expand the essential travel category toward an eventual more comprehensive opening of the border.
So give us a sense of your district. How important is it for your district's economy to reopen the border?
It's important to the economy, certainly, both to Western New York, but also to Southern Ontario. But it's also important in terms of life quality, in terms of emotion, in terms of mental health. You have families who have been separated for 15 months that can't visit one another. And if they're fully vaccinated, they should be able to do that. Keep in mind that the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention in the United States has said that you no longer have to wear a mask, that you no longer have to socially distance, which underscores the science, the astonishing accomplishment of these highly effective vaccines from getting COVID or from getting COVID. And I'm just following the science. So I have science on my side. Think about this for a moment. Last week, the National Hockey League got an exemption to allow hockey players to travel over the border. It wasn't based on the science. It was based on the Stanley Cup playoff schedule. That is arbitrary. That does not follow the science. Look at the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, and it is as clear as it can be. If you are fully vaccinated, whether it's 10% of the population in Canada or 45% of the population in the United States, those people who have been fully vaccinated should be able to cross the border.
And have you had conversations with the White House about this as the co-chair of the Northern Border Caucus and the Canada-U.S. Interparliamentary Group? And if so, what is your understanding right now about where things stand?
Well, I have had conversations with the White House and with the highest levels, cabinet secretaries in the Biden administration. The president said on national television that he wants to get the United States back to a semblance of normalcy by July 4th. For us, here in Western New York and in Southern Ontario, that means opening the border. And there's two people that can make this happen. The President of the United States and the Prime Minister of Canada, Justin Trudeau. They are men of goodwill. They need to put their heads together and announce clearly a plan to open this border. If it's incrementally for reuniting loved ones, for allowing property owners to go visit their cottage or their summer home along the Canadian shores of Lake Erie, that's fine. But there needs to be something, because that recognizes the science. And that is what we have been told to follow throughout this entire pandemic. The inflection point in this virus would be the availability of vaccines. Now we have had them. They are being widely distributed, and those who have been fully vaccinated are safe from both getting COVID and giving COVID, they should be able to travel the border.
In the meantime, what are you telling constituents? What do you think the timeline is here for actually reopening the border?
Well, I think it could be July 1st. Others are, less optimistic about that. But at the very least, the two leaders need to make an announcement about what the vision is, what the plan is. You just can't perpetually close the border. The coronavirus is with us. How we manage it will determine whether or not we stay safe. And we have a very, very potent tool now, and that is vaccines. So getting people vaccinated so that they too can enjoy immunity, so that they too can cross the border. The other thing is, if requiring, certifying that you are vaccinated to travel the border, that will be an incentive for those who haven't gotten vaccinated yet.
All right, Congressman Brian Higgins. Congressman, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for having me.